as a guard who loves to pass the ball, how do you balance when to get your teammates involved early to get them going versus you obviously can score really well too to do that? And the second part is just, you knew when you were going to hit a logo 3 to break the scoring record in college, and you thought, hey, it'd be cool to hit a logo 3 for my first points in the WNBA, or whatever happens.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is like you want to get your teammates involved early, but at the same time, the coaches told me like I need to be aggressive, take shots when they're there. But I think there is a healthy balance. I think after a few possessions, especially if we've gone a couple possessions without scoring, we definitely need to get it inside and get a high percentage basket. I think knowing that as a point guard is super important. And then honestly, what I've thought about is like, it would be nice to get a layup as my first basket. Why not get a high percentage too? Start it off right.
Howard, go ahead.
Caitlin, Howard Magdalton, next, good to see you again. 2 parts to this, if I could. First, just, the transition to the pros, there's been a lot of focus on things that get harder, but from the perspective of being able to feed Aaliyah and Liss inside, how much easier has that made life for you?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting dynamic because like when you're in college, there's usually, 1 or 2 people on the team where you can kind of sag off of. When you get into the pros, when you have pick and roll like that, like especially with shooters in the corner, it's like, what do? Do you help off the corners? Do you help off our other posts? So I think it's almost, more dynamic when working with Aaliyah, just because it's like, what do you give up? I think Aaliyah and Liss, I think it's both going to take time playing with each other, playing with me, like running the court hard. That just takes reps. It takes time to build. I think we've already seen it get a lot better. But I always want to reward them. They run the most in a game. They're running block to block. Like that's hard work. That's hard to do. So even if it results in a turnover, sometimes that's sometimes the best way to learn is to reward them, even if it's not successful, and just go back and watch it on film. But I think that chemistry is already growing game by game.
And then just the other part, from an emotional perspective, you've always talked about that ultimately the game on the floor is the thing that means the most to you. And I just wonder, compared to a lot of these signature moments, whether it's hearing your name called as the first pick, all that you've gone through, is this one likeliest to stand out the most? For sure. Like, this is basketball. This is what I love to do.
This is something I dreamed of ever since I was a young girl. So now that it's really here and you're getting to enjoy it, like, man, I'm so lucky. Like, I get to do this as my job. So I think getting to put on my uniform, like, this is a little different than a preseason game. Like, this one really counts. Like, this is the real deal. Like, this is on ESPN. So, we're going to go out there and give it everything we have. And I think this is definitely up there with some of the best moments of my life, for sure.
Second row on the right.
Caitlin, there's been so much talk and expectation. We're at 6 o'clock. Tip-off is in 90 minutes. Could you just talk about how badly you want 7:30 to be here at this point?
Yeah, I don't like sitting around all day. It kind of stinks. Like, I just want to get out there and play. We don't need shoot-arounds. We don't need that. Like, just go out and play. And honestly, it's different. I was telling my teammates in the locker room, it was like, at Iowa, like, we would just show up like an hour and a half before. We kind of warm up a little bit and just head out there for the game. Like, we got here like 2 hours and 15 minutes before. I got plenty of time to sit and think about it. So, but no, I mean, this is exciting. This is fun. Like, the atmosphere, you can already tell, like, there's just a different buzz in the air. And, that's what women's basketball should be. So I'm excited.
Go second row on the left.
Caitlin, Alex Raskin, Daily Mail. Do you sort of have to think of yourself as a player a bit differently now? Has the pressure to score changed significantly for you at this level?
Like in a way of like, I need to score?
No, that you might need to score less.
Oh, I mean, hey, that would be great. I think I think my time in college, it was like, I had to do that for my team. And I think now being on the professional level, it's like seeing how I can impact the game, maybe even if like it's not an assist or it's not a basket, just the attention I'm drawing, whether I'm standing in the corner, they can't help off me, just like the little things that you learn that are definitely not showing up in a box score, and probably a lot of people watching aren't even noticing, but when you go back and watch the film with your coaches, it's like, this is making an impact on the game. So I think it's the little things. I don't put pressure on myself to score a bunch of points. I think that's just going to come, but at the same time, I know this team's going to need me to score. So it's finding that balance, but also they're going to need me to pass and facilitate and organize the offense and organize our group. And sometimes that's, obviously a little different as a rookie. Like, you got to find your voice coming in here. And I think that's been something I've been trying to navigate. But I don't feel much pressure to score. I also didn't feel much pressure to score in college, and I still did it anyway. So
Go first row on the right.
Yeah, Caitlin, hi. You seem pretty relaxed out there. I was just wondering how you would describe your mood and if it's any different than any other big moment, big game that you've had previously?
I feel like a little kid. Like I just feel like really excited more than anything. Like I don't really get nervous. Like I don't get like anxious. Like I just get like a giddy excited feeling. Like I'm just can't wait for the moment to be here and just go out there and play the game and have a lot of fun. You know, to me, like it's just a game. Like, you know, if we walk away without a win tonight and we know we did everything right to get better and, you know, you have a quick turnaround, you get to play again on Thursday. Like that's what this league is. Like you can't just, you know, dwell on one loss. Obviously our goal is to go out there and win and dominate in all areas, but I think our group knows like if we go out there and play the way we should for 40 minutes, we're going to get the result we want, but we're also going to get a lot better. So for me, like it's just basketball. Like that's what I try to remind myself, and that's what Coach Christie says too. Like this is basketball. Like don't overthink it. Just go have fun. And you know, we know a lot of eyeballs are on it. We know a lot of people are going to be here. It's a sellout. I think they're first since 2003. So how lucky are we? Embrace the moment and go take it.
Back row on the left, Ben, go ahead.
Hey, Ben Pittman from The Athletic. You talked about waiting around, you know, and wanting just this night to get here. Just what was it like? What was going through your mind as you did walk out on the court for warm-ups and began to warm up? What are you kind of thinking about?
I was like, oh my gosh, how is the 90-minute clock not started? That's what I was thinking. But I think just, I don't know, like I said, like there's just like a buzz in the air. Like I was just like excited to get on the court. Like I was waiting in the locker room for my court time. I'm like, come on, like is it my turn to warm up yet? Like I'm just ready for the game. I think I'm ready for this moment. No matter how it goes, good, bad, whatever it is. Like, you know, this is a first for me. It's a great learning opportunity. And you only get your first WNBA game one time, so you better make the most of it and soak in every single second because I'm never going to get this opportunity again. So that's always what I try to tell myself is like take a deep breath, look around, enjoy the environment, and I think that's gonna, you know, go a long ways for me as this game starts.
Go in the back row to the left again to Erica.
Thank you. Erica Ayala with CBS Sports. Caitlin, you talked about shoot around, but I noticed that the first person that you greeted from the Connecticut team was actually head coach Stephanie White. You know, what was that like to just be able to catch up with her in your pro debut or regular season?
She's obviously called a lot of my games all throughout college, and I just think she has a really great basketball mind. I think she's done a great job calling college games. It's been great to see her on NBA games. I think what she's done is just, she's obviously, you know, she's been a trailblazer, honestly. Like, I think she's always been somebody that's been supportive of my game, and it's been fun to talk to her at shoot-arounds throughout my college career and always been really supportive. And yeah, so I think the biggest thing is just, it's fun to go against her now for my first time after her calling a lot of my games. Now I get to play against her, so I think that's going to be a lot of fun for the both of us.
I think we have in the right and back row.
Hi, Margaret Fleming from Front Office Sports. I wanted to ask, as you and your draft class have just become national celebrities and you guys are making your big debut this week, what does it mean to you to be a part of elevating the league?
Yeah, I think it's been special. I think obviously there's been so many stars and so much talent in this league, and you know, the more this league's given an opportunity, the more it's going to flourish. I think that's the biggest thing, is the more we play on national television, the better the players are treated, no matter what it is. The more teams we have, expansion's going to help. The more talent we can get in the league. Obviously there's less than 144 spots right now, and like I know firsthand how much talent there is in the United States of America, or all across the world, of, you know, skilled basketball players. And the more we can get in this league, and the more talent and the more visibility, that's just going to help grow this game, grow the league even more. But I think coming in as a rookie and women's basketball across the board being at an all-time high, like how lucky are we that we get to come in and be in this moment with everybody else? Like you can't really script it any better. And for me, I just feel fortunate, and you know, hopefully we can continue to move it forward and continue to show the world how great women's basketball is.
We got time for one more in the middle there, second row.
Hi, Caitlin. It's Paulina, Fox News Digital. I have a question similar to that. There's been a lot of discourse around your rise in popularity, you know, even before college, and I was wondering if you had recently seen Aja Wilson's comments about that, and if you had a reaction to that.
I have not seen her comments.
She just essentially said to the AP that it was there's a race element in her eyes, and I was wondering if that's something that even comes across your mind.
Yeah, I think there's, you know, opportunities for every single player in women's basketball. I think the more opportunities we can give across the board, that's what's going to elevate women's basketball. It doesn't need to be just one or two players, and I think that even goes back to college. Like, I think the parity in women's basketball is what's making more people want to come and watch it. And I think the more we can spread the love, show people, show their talent, show their teams, that's just going to continue to elevate it. So I think that's the biggest thing. I've had a lot of fun, being in the spotlight and helping grow this game and move it forward, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. But I think I know firsthand how talented this league is, whether it was me as a young kid or whether it's me now playing here, like how many talented players are in this league, and the more we can share the love, the better this league's going to be.